Your forecast first, sponsored by Matex Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing.
All right, good evening to you. A very nice day on this Tuesday. I mean, wow. Just gorgeous. Sunshine, low humidity, no humidity, to be honest with you, and just a ton of sun. 77. Double sevens there in Springfield and Champaign. Looking good all across the area here. That's our Neal Street camera. Pretty quiet right now. Sunshine over the next few hours, and then skies will remain clear. It's going to cool off tonight. We're talking about mid-50s for overnight lows. How long does that stick around? We'll show you when we come back. WCIA 3 News starts
now on WCIA 3 News.
Was it free expression or was there criminal intent? What the chief of police is saying about station vandalism.
Did we do everything we could?
A class of preschoolers is under quarantine where a staff member tested positive for the coronavirus. And it's back to campus at the U of I. What emergency orders have been put in place to try and slow the spread.
You're watching your local news leader. This is WCIA 3 News at 6.
I was quite outraged because I believe we could have done more.
Champaign Police Chief Anthony Cobb says he is personally looking into what happened last week when his department was vandalized after a protest. Good evening, I'm Jennifer Roscoe. Cobb was on vacation at the time and no police officers went outside to stop it. But police say a commander called one of the protest leaders to try and stop them. WCIA 3's Courtney Bunting is live outside the police department now. So Courtney, who made the decision to not go out there and do something?
Well, Jennifer, that's what Cobb says he's looking into. Now, this vandalism that happened Thursday night, it covered this sign behind me and also the concrete structure underneath it, as well as other parts of the building like the windows of the police department. And it's since been washed away, obviously, but it included phrases like defund the police and Black Lives Matter. But it also had things like racial slurs and threats to city employees.
It is my organization, my department's job to hold people accountable for making poor choices. And Thursday night was a poor choice.
Champaign Police Chief Anthony Cobb is calling vandalism to his department an act of division. Thursday night started with a protest organized by the Champaign County Anti-Racist Coalition. But later that night, people started graffitiing the station. It included racial slurs against Cobb and terms like blood on their hands.
There is a proper way of doing it. And the times I've met with protesters, they were peaceful. They were doing the things in a manner that is allowed by our Constitution. However, when we start destroying property, we've actually broken the laws.
But Cobb is also upset that no officers walked outside to end it. Police tell us that a commander did call protest organizers to ask them to stop, but no one physically took action.
My officers were upset, offended, disrespected, outraged by what happened here, and they would have gladly stepped up and done their service, but I need to figure out why they weren't allowed to.
Cobb also says he wants to clear up a rumor that city leaders told police to stand down.
The mayor, the city council, nor did the city manager give any direction for my officers not to engage. And I need to figure out why my command staff did not. I am doing a review into what occurred on last Thursday and to figure out why it occurred, because the criminal action that took place by the individuals who damaged property here at the police department is something we won't tolerate.
I asked Chief Cobb what he would have done if he had been working that night and not on vacation, and he said he would have responded. And he used an example of late May whenever they arrested 27 people during the civil unrest. Reporting live in Champaign, Courtney Bunting, WCIA 3, your local news leader.
And Courtney, you talked to the protest organizer today on the phone. She is now apologizing for this?
Well, Jennifer, I talked to Rita Connerly. She was part of organizing it, and she said that she does apologize and does not condone the racial slur that was written on this building. She also said that she was not on the side of the building with the people who were riding on it. She was chalking on the ground, she said, and she got a call from Champaign Police to try to stop the people riding on the building, but by the time she got there, it was too late.
All right, Courtney, thank you. We have new information about a man who was killed during a string of shootings in Decatur yesterday. The Macon County coroner says 27-year-old Katari Smith was shot several times. 3 other people were hurt. That shooting happened near East Walnut and Lober Streets. We have information on the 3 other shootings on our website at WCIA.com. We have a follow-up now. County jails across the state capitalized on a small window to transfer inmates to state prisons. There was a transfer ban because of the pandemic, but a judge struck it down, and hundreds of inmates were moved at the start of the month. WCIA3's Cole Henke has more.
Illinois Department of Corrections facilities didn't take any new inmates for months. Then, after a ruling against Governor Pritzker's inmate transfer ban, they took on 400 new inmates in just 3 days.
The state was unprepared for that. They knew the court case had been decided the day before, so why wouldn't you have been prepared and say, hey, you know we're going to get an influx of people, right?
Illinois sheriffs moved quickly to transfer inmates from the county jails, but a little too quickly for the ACLU in Illinois, who thought the moves were politically motivated and ignored the safety of the inmates and the public.
To load up, hundreds, 400 people and start moving them within hours, as opposed to letting the appeals process, the request for a stay, et cetera, play out, I think shows that there was not enough concern over the health and safety of everyone involved.
The executive director of the Illinois Sheriff's Association says that sheriffs let these IDOC facilities know they were coming with their inmates. 400 transfers went through, but IDOC facilities turned many others away, either when prisons reached capacity or when they knew inmates had been exposed to coronavirus while in custody.
We're not looking to pass the transmission of COVID-19 into the jail any more than we wanted in the county jails, but there has to be a system where this process can move.
Reporting in Springfield, I'm Cole Henke, WCIA3, your local news leader.
The Illinois Attorney General's office appealed the Logan County ruling in both a Logan County court and at the appellate level. The appellate court heard oral arguments today on the case, but there has not been a ruling yet. A Coles County preschool class has been shut down. A staff member tested positive for COVID-19 at St. John's Lutheran School in Mattoon. Students will have to quarantine for 14 days. All of the classes are still being held, all of the other ones. Kids are required to wear masks there. Everybody in the building has to as well, and they all have their temperature checked.
Did we do everything we could? And I think our plan is pretty solid, and I think, like I said, our parents support the plan that we have. So yeah, we step things up. We make sure, and I follow up and check up, and we make sure that the cleaning staff is doing what they need to do, and the teachers are doing everything that they can.
St. John's notified its families about the positive tests. They do have the option of going to remote learning if they want to. There are more than 1,700 new cases in the state. In the last day, that makes more than 209,000 total. The positivity rate has increased to 4.3%. The recovery rate holding steady at 95%. 27 more people have died. Illinois now has almost 7,800 deaths. Here's some new details. Parkland College in Champaign won't be laying off dozens like planned. The school had a shortfall of nearly $5 million because of declining enrollment. That equaled about 65 full-time positions. They had a voluntary separation option for employees. The participation in that, coupled with resignations and retirements, helped to make up for the financial loss. Parkland expects 69 positions to become vacant in the next 3 years. 34 of those won't be replaced. The same amount will be replaced with employees at lower salaries. The budget shortfall was reduced from almost $5 million to about $2 million. They expect to be out of the red within 3 years if nothing else goes wrong. The next couple of weeks are critical as students return to the U of I, what the city of Champaign has put in place to try and stop the spread. Also tonight,
I let myself wallow in pity for about 3 months after I lost my leg.
Her loss has become everybody else's gain, who is celebrating much more than just a year in business.
Oh, we've got a lot of sunshine out there. Look at that. I mean, clear blue skies. Not a single cloud out there in that sky. After a high of 81 degrees and a low of 68. Those are the numbers going in the books today. Coming at you, an awesome night. Stick around for how low the temperatures are headed. When things start to get a little warmer, and we bring back a little bit of rain to the forecast when we come back.